EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. These are not new concepts in the world of search engine optimization, but Google has increasingly emphasized their importance. It's crucial to understand that EEAT itself is not a direct ranking factor like page speed or backlinks. There isn't a specific EEAT score that Google calculates for your website. Instead, Google has systems that use various signals to identify content that demonstrates strong EEAT. Think of it as a guiding principle, a compass that Google's algorithms and human quality raters use to assess the quality and reliability of web pages. It's about rewarding content that truly serves the user's best interest with helpful, accurate, and reliable information. Many website owners get confused, believing that if they just sprinkle some author bios or add a few credentials, their rankings will magically improve. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how EEAT works. It's not a simple checklist you can complete. Rather, EEAT is an overarching concept that Google uses to determine which content is most likely to be helpful and trustworthy for users, especially for topics that can significantly impact a person's life, happiness, health, or financial stability, often referred to as your money or your life topics. However, the principles of EEAT are increasingly important for all types of content, not just YMYL. The core idea behind EEAT is to ensure that when users search for information, especially on critical subjects, they are presented with content created by individuals or organizations that genuinely know what they are talking about. This means the content should be accurate, well-supported, and come from a credible source. For example, medical advice should ideally come from qualified health professionals, and financial advice from certified financial experts. Google aims to surface content that users can confidently rely on, thereby providing a better search experience and protecting users from misinformation or low-quality content that could be harmful or unhelpful. Therefore, focusing on EEAT is about fundamentally improving the quality and credibility of your website and its content. It's about building a genuine reputation for providing valuable information and being a trustworthy source in your niche. This isn't a quick fix or a shortcut to the top of the search results. It's a long-term strategy that involves consistently creating high-quality content, showcasing your credentials and experience, and fostering a positive reputation online. By aligning your website with the principles of EEAT, you are essentially aligning with Google's goal of providing users with the best possible search results, which is a sustainable path to online success. In late 2022, Google officially updated its search quality rater guidelines to include experience as a key component, transforming EAT into EEAT. This edition acknowledged that first-hand, real-world experience can be just as valuable as formal expertise in certain contexts. For many topics, users want to hear from someone who has actually been there and done that. This could be someone sharing their personal health journey, offering product tips from years of use, or providing insights from direct involvement in events. This lived experience brings a unique perspective that formal education alone might not offer. Think about product reviews, for example. A review from someone who has extensively used a product, highlighting pros and cons from daily use, often provides more value than technical specifications alone. Similarly, hearing from someone who has overcome similar challenges can be incredibly insightful and reassuring. Google recognized its systems needed to better account for this valuable, experience-based content. Formal expertise is still important, especially for medical or financial advice. However, experience adds another layer to content quality assessment. For instance, content from an avid hiker who has personally explored specific trails offers immense practical value. Their first-hand experience provides details that remote research might miss. The addition of experience encourages content creators to be more authentic and share genuine perspectives. It signals that Google values demonstrable first-hand involvement. For businesses, this means showcasing real-world experiences behind your products and services. Are your contributors sharing true stories? Are they demonstrating practical application? High-quality content is not just about what you know, but what you've genuinely experienced and can authentically share. One of the biggest myths surrounding EEAT is that there's a specific EEAT score that Google assigns to websites. This is simply not true. Google does not have a single quantifiable EEAT metric that directly influences your rankings. Instead, EEAT is a framework used by Google's human quality raters to evaluate search results and help Google refine its algorithms. The algorithms look for various signals that are proxies for good EEAT. So while you can't directly optimize for an EEAT score, you can work on improving the signals that Google associates with experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Another common misconception is that focusing on EEAT guarantees quick ranking improvements. While strong EEAT is crucial for long-term success, it's not a magic bullet for instant results. Building genuine authority and trust takes time and consistent effort. You need to create high-quality content, establish your credibility, and earn recognition within your field. These are not overnight achievements. Google's systems need time to recognize and reward these efforts. Therefore, patience and sustained commitment to quality are essential. Trying to rush the process or find shortcuts often leads to disappointment and can even be counterproductive. Some people also believe that EEAT is only important for YMYL, or your money or your life websites. While it's true that EEAT is critically important for topics that can significantly impact a person's well-being, Google has made it clear that the underlying principles of EEAT apply to all types of content. Users always prefer content that is reliable, accurate, and comes from a credible source, regardless of the topic. Whether you're writing about hobbies, entertainment, or complex scientific theories, demonstrating that your content is trustworthy and created by someone knowledgeable or experienced will always be beneficial. Finally, there's a myth that you can simply fake EEAT by creating elaborate author bios for non-existent experts or by buying fake reviews. Google's algorithms and human raters are becoming increasingly sophisticated at detecting such deceptive practices. Attempting to artificially inflate your EEAT signals can lead to penalties and damage your website's reputation in the long run. True EEAT is built on authenticity and genuine value. Focusing on providing real, helpful information from credible sources is always the most sustainable and effective approach. Attempting to manipulate or trick Google's systems into perceiving high EEAT where it doesn't authentically exist is a risky strategy that can have severe consequences. Some website owners might be tempted to use black hat SEO tactics, such as creating fake author personas with fabricated credentials, publishing AI-generated content attributed to non-existent experts, or purchasing positive reviews and testimonials. These deceptive techniques are designed to create a superficial appearance of authority and trustworthiness. However, Google is actively working to identify and penalize sites that engage in such practices, as they undermine the integrity of search results and can mislead users. The primary danger of trying to game EEAT signals is the potential for Google to take manual action against your website. A manual action means a human reviewer at Google has determined that your site violates their webmaster guidelines. This can result in your site or specific pages being demoted in search results or even removed entirely from the index. Recovering from a manual action can be a lengthy and challenging process, often requiring significant changes to your website and a reconsideration request. The damage to your site's visibility and organic traffic can be substantial and long-lasting. Beyond manual actions, Google's algorithms are also continually improving their ability to detect inauthentic signals. Even if you initially manage to deceive the algorithms, it's likely that future updates will identify these manipulative tactics. This could lead to an algorithmic demotion, where your site's rankings drop significantly without a specific manual action notification. Algorithmic demotions can be harder to diagnose and recover from because there's no direct feedback from Google. The best defense is to always adhere to Google's guidelines and focus on building genuine EEAT through legitimate means. Ultimately, misleading users and search engines erodes trust, which is a cornerstone of EEAT. If users discover that the information or credentials presented on your site are false or misleading, they will lose confidence in your brand. This can lead to a poor reputation, negative word of mouth, and a decline in user engagement signals that Google also considers. The short-term gains, if any, from deceptive EEAT tactics are far outweighed by the long-term risks to your website's credibility and search performance. Honesty and transparency are always the best policies when it comes to building a sustainable online presence that Google and users can trust. Applying EEAT principles effectively presents several real-world challenges for website owners and businesses. One significant hurdle is scaling the creation of genuinely high-quality, experience-rich content. It's relatively easy to produce one or two excellent articles showcasing deep expertise, but consistently publishing such content across a large website, especially with multiple authors or contributors, really requires robust editorial processes and a strong commitment to quality control. Finding and vetting true experts who can also write well, or training subject matter experts to become effective content creators, can be time-consuming and pretty resource-intensive. Another common challenge, particularly for new websites or businesses, is demonstrating experience and building authority from scratch. Established players in a niche often have years of history, a substantial portfolio of content, numerous citations, and a strong brand reputation, all of which contribute to their perceived EEAT. Newcomers must find ways to showcase their unique experiences, build credibility through tangible achievements, and gradually earn trust. This might involve leveraging the personal experience of founders, highlighting unique case studies, or focusing on a very specific sub-niche to establish initial authority before broadening their scope. Competition is also a major factor. In many industries, especially YMYL fields like finance or health, you're often competing against large, well-funded organizations with dedicated teams focused on content and SEO. These competitors may already have strong EEAT signals in place, making it difficult for smaller businesses or individual creators to gain visibility. Differentiating your content by offering a unique perspective, focusing on underserved aspects of a topic, or providing an exceptional user experience becomes even more critical in such competitive landscapes. It's not just about having EEAT, but about demonstrating it more effectively than your competitors. Finally, there's the challenge of accurately interpreting and implementing Google's EEAT guidelines, which are, by design, principles rather than a precise set of rules. What constitutes sufficient experience or expertise can vary significantly depending on the topic. For example, a product review site might demonstrate experience through detailed hands-on testing, while a medical information site needs to showcase the credentials of medical professionals. Site owners must carefully consider their specific niche and audience to determine the most effective ways to build and signal EEAT, which often requires ongoing learning, adaptation, and honestly, a willingness to invest in genuine quality. To effectively boost your website's EEAT, you really want to focus on authenticity and showcasing genuine credentials. Make sure that your content is actually created by individuals who truly possess the experience or expertise they claim. Include clear author biographies that detail relevant qualifications, education, professional affiliations, and most importantly, real-world experience. If your authors are recognized experts, highlight their achievements, publications, or speaking engagements. Linking to authoritative profiles like LinkedIn or official organizational pages can further substantiate their credibility and help Google verify their legitimacy. Building topical authority is another crucial strategy. This involves creating comprehensive, in-depth content that covers a specific subject area thoroughly. Instead of publishing scattered articles, aim to become a go-to resource for a particular niche. This shows both Google and your users that you have deep understanding of the subject matter. Interlink your content logically to create topic clusters, which helps guide users and search engines through your expertise. Don't forget to regularly update your existing content to ensure it remains accurate and current, reflecting the latest insights in your field. Fostering trust is paramount, and this extends beyond the content itself. Make it easy for users to contact you by providing clear contact information, including physical addresses and phone numbers. Display customer testimonials, reviews, and case studies prominently to showcase positive experiences. Make sure your website is secure with HTTPS encryption, which is a basic trust signal. Transparent policies regarding privacy, terms of service, and sponsored content also contribute to building user trust. Address negative feedback constructively and show real commitment to user satisfaction. Finally, always maintain a user-first approach and think long-term. Create content that genuinely helps your audience, answers their questions thoroughly, and provides real value. Don't focus solely on keywords at the expense of user experience. Collaborate with other recognized experts or authoritative organizations in your field. Guest posting on reputable sites or inviting experts to contribute can enhance your perceived authority. Consistently applying these strategies over time will gradually build a strong foundation of experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, leading to sustainable SEO success. While there's no direct EEAT score to track, you can measure the impact through various indirect indicators. One key area to monitor is user engagement metrics. Look at data in Google Analytics, such as average time on page, bounce rate, and pages per session. If users are spending more time consuming your content and exploring more of your site, it suggests they find it valuable and trustworthy. Improved engagement can be a positive signal to Google that your content demonstrates quality. Another important indicator is the growth of brand mentions and authoritative citations. Are other reputable websites linking to your content or mentioning your brand as a reliable source? Tools like Google Alerts can help you track these mentions. An increase in unlinked brand mentions or natural links from high-quality sites can signify growing authority in your field. These are strong signals that Google's systems may pick up on as indicators of your website's trustworthiness and expertise. Online reviews and ratings are also tangible measures. Monitor your reviews on Google, My Business, Yelp, and industry-specific review sites. An increasing number of positive reviews can directly influence user trust and may benefit your EEAT perception. Pay attention to the content of the reviews. Do they mention your expertise or reliability? Responding professionally to reviews demonstrates commitment to customer satisfaction. Lastly, observe changes in your organic search traffic and rankings, particularly for informational queries and YMYL pages. Sustained improvements in visibility can suggest your efforts are being recognized. Look for improvements in click-through rates, which might indicate more compelling snippets. Correlate these SEO improvements with your EEAT initiatives to understand the potential impact. Remember, these changes are often gradual, reflecting the long-term nature of building genuine EEAT. Embarking on your EEAT enhancement journey should begin with a thorough audit of your existing website and content. Evaluate your current content against the EEAT principles. Are your authors clearly identified with credible bios? Is the information accurate, well supported by evidence, and up to date? Identify pages, particularly those covering YMYL topics, that may lack sufficient signals of experience, expertise, authoritativeness, or trustworthiness. This initial assessment will help you pinpoint areas that require the most immediate attention and form the basis of your improvement plan. Look for content gaps where you can demonstrate deeper expertise. The next step involves a comprehensive review and vetting of your authors and contributors. For every piece of content, especially informational articles, make sure the person credited truly has the necessary background. Develop clear guidelines for author bios, requiring details about their relevant experience, education, and professional achievements. If you use freelance writers, verify their credentials and subject matter knowledge rigorously. Consider creating a dedicated About Us page or team page that showcases the collective expertise and experience of your organization, further reinforcing your authority and transparency. With your audit complete and authors vetted, focus on on-page optimization to better signal EEAT. This includes clearly attributing content to qualified authors, adding dates for publication and updates, citing reputable sources, and ensuring your website design is professional and user-friendly. Make your contact information, privacy policy, and terms of service easily accessible. For e-commerce sites, display customer reviews and clear return policies. Off-page, work on building genuine authority through earning high-quality backlinks from reputable sites and encouraging positive mentions and reviews across the web. Finally, EEAT is not a one-time project but an ongoing commitment. Continuously monitor your content's performance, user feedback, and industry trends. Regularly update your content to maintain its accuracy and relevance. Keep an eye on what Google communicates about content quality and EEAT through its official blogs and guidelines. As your website grows, ensure your processes for maintaining high EEAT standards can scale effectively. This iterative process of auditing, improving, and monitoring is key to building and maintaining strong EEAT signals over the long term, fostering sustained trust with both users and search engines. As we look towards the future of search, the principles underpinning EEAT experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness are only set to become more ingrained in how Google assesses and ranks content. Google's ultimate goal is to satisfy user intent with the most helpful, reliable, and highest quality information available. EEAT serves as a crucial framework for achieving this, especially in an online world that's increasingly cluttered with information of varying quality, and now with the rise of AI-generated content, the need for verifiable human experience and expertise is even more critical. The core takeaway for any website owner or content creator is that authenticity and a genuine user-first approach are non-negotiable for long-term success. Trying to find shortcuts or manipulate signals related to EEAT is a short-sighted strategy that is unlikely to yield sustainable results and may even lead to penalties. Instead, invest your efforts in genuinely understanding your audience's needs and creating content that truly serves them. Focus on building real expertise within your team, showcasing actual experiences, and establishing your organization as a credible and trustworthy authority in your niche. Future trends will likely see Google becoming even more sophisticated in discerning genuine EEAT. This could involve a greater emphasis on verifying author identity, more nuanced ways of assessing first-hand experience, and even more scrutiny on the overall reputation of a website and its associated entities. Businesses that prioritize transparency, consistently deliver value, and cultivate a positive online presence will be best positioned to thrive. This means being honest about who you are, what you know, and the experiences you bring to the table, and ensuring this is clearly communicated across your digital footprint. Ultimately, EEAT is about building relationships with your audience based on trust. When users trust your content, they're more likely to engage with it, share it, and return to your site in the future. These positive user behaviors are signals that Google values. By consistently demonstrating strong EEAT, you are not just optimizing for search engines, you are building a resilient and reputable brand that provides lasting value. In the ever-evolving landscape of SEO, authenticity, honesty, and a relentless focus on the user will always be the winning strategy.